Good morning guys, it's a sunny day in London. I'm off to meet Tania Ortiz Zamorano at her home studio in West London. She's a graduate from London College of Fashion. Check out the video. So Tania, how did you get into fashion and what do you love the most about it?
I came 7 years ago here with the purpose to start my fashion career. I did biology in Spain, and I didn't feel like it was what I need to do, so I came here. I started doing courses about drawing, fashion, and then I was into university in 2011. I started my career there, and in 2014 I finished my BA in fashion. I started like doing a small collaboration, internships, and then after my BA I decided to move forward to costume, because it's a bigger frame. You can do fashion but more artistic way. My style is more detail and more 3D structure. This is my beginning. Now I'm trying to find my way how to expand my perception of fashion and how to build up my career on that.
Who are the designers who inspired you to get into fashion?
My favorite designer ever was John Galliano. He's a Spanish artist who came here to develop his career many years ago. And I love his theatrical focus on fashion. When he was with Christian Dior, he was amazing show that he did the most amazing shows and catwalks. I like Issey Miyake and all the comme des garçons, the Japanese style, Michiko Koshino. It's more, they play more with shapes and they try to, through patterns, develop structure.
Which countries other than Japan would you like to go to?
I would love to go everywhere. I don't have a limit. Actually, most of my colleagues in the master, they were from China, Thailand, Taiwan. So I would like to visit them, and if I'm able to do collaboration with them in the future, I really will go for it. I would love to go to South America. I find really interesting the old, like indigenous way of embroidery, like dyeing techniques, all the traditional way of do things. I'm very interested in learning it, because you can dye, you can embroider with machine, you can do anything nowadays because everything is computerized. But if you know the really traditional way to do it, you can use it for so many things.
If you do it with your own hands, it's more personal.
It's much more personal, and
you're a big fan of that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very fan of tradition in general.
Okay, let's get a glimpse into your life. What is the last text you received?
Yesterday night, my mother texted me, "I love you, darling."
What are you most passionate about? What's your talent?
I'm very passionate about many things. This is actually one of my problems, that I'm passionate about everything. And I really love art and all the expression of art. So as performance, painting, photography, and how everyone interprets art differently. So I'm also very interested in this part of the brain that make us different to each other. So we are all the same, we are human beings, but how different are we from the next person who is the person who is next to us? So I'm very interested in the brain actually, in how mind works, how make us take the decision, how psychologically we work differently. So I read a lot about different theories about the brain, the quantum physics and quantum mechanics. I apply them to my projects, and yes, I'm very empathetic also, so I catch very well how people behave, and I'm really good with people. And I think it's one of my talents, like in general in life or work or for career, my empathy. and I use it all the time. And well, artistically, I think I bring to fashion or to performance a new, not new because everything is invented already, but my perspective, I think, is personal, and I like to share with everyone my point of view.
Tania, you told me earlier that you worked at the Brits.
Yeah, they called me to help in the dressing department for at the beginning there were a show, the opening show with 80 dancers, so they need some help and to dress them, to fit them. So from 3 days before Brits, we were fitting all the dancers and doing all the alteration that suddenly you have a new dancer, you didn't have the measurements, so you need to rearrange all the costume. Everything was rushing. 80 dancers that need to be dressed like from 3 or 4 hours before, and we did twice because it was the dressing rehearsal and then the actual Brits. So it was very nice experience at the end, but a lot of work. Was like 13 hours a day working.
What is the most interesting thing you've accidentally found?
Well, actually, the most interesting thing that suddenly happened in my life was to find this master, because I didn't have any idea what to do after the BA in fashion, and I was checking Facebook, like everyone do, and
it just came up on Facebook.
Yeah, I checked some link about a girl who did the master, and I checked the master and I was like, oh my god, this is what I want to do, is actually what I want to aim. So I just checked the website, I booked the open day, and was completely my future. It was a couple of interviews and show my work, but it was easy to speak with the director. Was for me, it's something that is there for you and you find it, and I did. So.
What do you think your future would be like?
So broad, the possibilities that I have, but what I want to is to work in theater or in dance or in films, like all kind of performance, as a designer, and do.
Do you prefer any of these three?
I really like dancing, because dancers are very easy people to treat with, like to work with them, and you can make many things with movement. It's like you need to think much more than rather to stand just for the shoot, or you need to think them wearing something that is gonna move. So you need to think about mechanics also.
What is your best silly face? My
silly face that I use actually a lot here is when I don't understand people and I make this kind of face that, oh, what are you talking about? And I make the noise like, huh? I don't understand. Sorry.
What are your dreams? Do you have a specific dream you want to go into?
I'm a daydreamer. I'm all the time having ideas and dreams, and the more I dream, the bigger is my idea. So right now is to find somewhere that I'm able to create my art or my designs, and just expose them to the world. I really want to do some exhibitions, some more work, have some money for personal project to develop, and go deeper scale into my research. I really like to do something meaningful. I don't just want to do a sculpture or a 3D or a costume. It's something that implicates a thought when you visualize or when you observe it. For this project I researched a lot about avant-garde movement in Japan afterward. So I really like the concept of gutai. They start the movement after the war finished, and they reveal how Japanese society they behave. So they don't care about how the ending product is. It's more about the creation process and how you implicate into the creation. So it's deeper than just doing for commercial purpose.
If you could live one day in a book or in a movie, which one would it be?
I have seen it recently again, Midnight in Paris from Woody Allen. I really like the concept that be able to travel to another time of history and live for a while the experience of 20s or Renaissance or being yourself but in other time, because we live in now in this time in 2016, but sometimes you feel you belong to other time in history, and it would be nice to have the chance to meet these interesting people, these artists, the style of life.
Which year was this set in? Midnight in Paris?
In the film is 1920s, and then they travel to 1890s or 19th century also. There are two times. It's like
You love those eras?
yeah, it's Belle Epoque and 20s. But I think Victorian time in England is very interesting too.
So Tania, why don't you show us your clothes rail, your creations?
Sure. I divided in 3 groups. I wanted to show you the first my BA final collection. So I did 3 complete outfits of three garment each. So it's made in really fine fabric and all very subtle colors, inspired by the Pre-Raphaelite artists in Victorian era. So it's about how she got into depression when she met Dante, and all this intrication in the pattern represent how the brain work when you are having problems with your reaction or into depression.
What about this one?
Yeah, this is the collection, so they are all the same concept, like about how Ophelia in Shakespeare and Lizzie Sidal in the Pre-Raphaelites got involved into a depression that much that they commit suicide. So all the rope and the weaving is representing how the brain got stuck and got really heavy, so it's really silks because of the
Let's have a closer look.
because
And all of this yourself by hand?
Yeah, I did everything by hand. It was actually a nightmare to make it, but all the weaving is by hand and all the patterns are made by me. That's why when I meant like traditional way, this is very traditional way of making, but it's so personal. I wouldn't sell any of these pieces because it didn't have enormous value. So it's all the silks because Ophelia died in the water, and it's the fluidity that silk has with a heavy material as rope. And this is the last one. So it's really cool actually, bomber. I will wear it, and it's all.
You love this kind of pattern?
Yeah.
I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, I like. This is one collection, so it's all related, and this is what is make the difference with fashion, because I take an idea and I take a concept and I transport it to something more wearable. This is the difference with fashion to costume, because with costume it's not that wearable. I don't know if I could wear this outside. It's all also embroidered myself. So I did design the embroidery and I use a Bernina. This is a project made for a film project. So the play we choose is called Visit, and I represent the main character. Claire is a very bitter person, very bitter woman who decided to come back to the village she come from and revenge her ex-boyfriend for the time. So she came back and she offered like millions to the people who live there to kill the person who speak bad about her. So I decided to use the blood cells to represent how bitter was her blood, and I got inspired by Frida Kahlo painting. She has a lot of things like heart, and she suffered a lot in life. So all this is about how blood influence to our decision also, and is all again handmade and hand stitched. And also on the trouser you can see the motif. Those is textile experimentation also. So those would represent the veins going through the legs, and this is one of the feet. And also I made a hat with the same motifs, all representing the blood cell. I use very medical or science reference. This is beautiful fabric and it's beautiful pattern, but the representation of a character define the costume, so it's very difficult to wear it outside. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to find something else about me and about my work, please check the description below in this video. You'll find my Instagram, Facebook, website, showtime, and anything is there, all my work and all my contacts. So thank you very much again, and see you in the next project. Bye bye.